Gentleman from Henrico, Mr. Morrissey.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise for a point of personal privilege.
Gentleman may proceed.
Mr. Speaker, a couple of folks from the other side of the aisle said that I have not spoken this session on a point of personal privilege. They said I need to step up to the plate more. So, in the remaining half of the session, I'll try to do better. Anybody that knows me knows that I clip articles. I'm a prolific newspaper reader. I clip a lot of articles, and I send them out. So, Thursday morning, I got up when we had all this snow, and I cut 2 articles out from the RTD. Both of them involved my friend from Prince William County, Delegate Marshall, who I would like to say on Valentine's Day, I love Bob Marshall. I love Bob Marshall. Now, the first article involving Delegate Marshall was the article, and I was so disappointed because yesterday he wasn't here. The first article was he announced that he was going to seek the congressional seat in Northern Virginia. Now, why Bob Marshall would want to join that entity that's established in Article 1, Section 2 of the Constitution, I don't know. If he thinks he's going to have more fun in Congress than he does here, he's wrong. Look at the numbers. There's 435 members. There's less opportunity to speak. But with that said, you know, you have to admire Delegate Marshall. He always speaks from the heart, never from a scripted writing, and he says what he believes. We often disagree, but he says what he believes. And he's very witty. And so I'm glad that he's running, and I'm sure that he and the other 16 members of this body that are also running for congressional seats will have a vigorous, enthusiastic debate. The second article that would also tangentially involves Delegate Marshall was the article that I clipped yesterday dealing with the judge striking the Kentucky marriage ban. Now, I thought he would be interested in this because a federal judge ruled Wednesday that Kentucky must recognize same-sex marriages performed in other states. John G. Hayburn III, a Republican appointee, went on to say that assigning a religious or traditional rationale does not make it constitutional. And then he went on to say that his decision coincided with a plethora of decisions from other courts. And he mentioned Texas, Louisiana, Missouri, Utah, Oklahoma. Consistent with what I said earlier in this session, that it is a freight train coming at us. Imagine then my delight when I like Bob Marshall, I'm reading constitutional opinions at midnight, and read the decision out of Norfolk that came across the wires at 12:40 a.m. But I have a very little different take on the federal district court judges, Arinda Wright Allen's decision. First of all, let's be clear what she did. She struck down the marriage ban that's enshrined in the Virginia Constitution. No ifs, ands, or buts, it's struck down. And then in her 41-page opinion, she went on to say that the constitutional amendment passed in 2006 banning same-sex marriage forbid recognition of such unions was simply unconstitutional. She also showed absolutely no hesitation whatsoever in saying that the reasons that the proponents articulated for denying same-sex marriage union provided no legitimate government purpose. Now, I can just see my friend Bob Marshall when he goes to Congress, if he goes, and I wish everybody well, can you just see him now lecturing Nancy Pelosi? He'll pull out his Constitution, and he will lecture her and the other Democratic members of Congress. But what will he say, and how will he rebut Wright Allen's opinion? She said a couple of other things. She said that gay and lesbian individuals share the same capacity as heterosexual individuals to form, preserve, and celebrate loving, intimate, and lasting relationships. How can he rebut that? How can he possibly deny that? Wright Allen went on to say that, yes, tradition is revered in the Commonwealth of Virginia. We have embraced it for over 200 years. Notwithstanding tradition, she said that the legitimate purpose proffered by the proponents, including responsible procreation, share no rational link with Virginia marriage laws enshrined in the Constitution. How do you debunk that? I don't know how he will. But at the end of the day, this is what we have. We have judges now, unanimous rulings from Utah, Oklahoma, Kentucky, New Jersey, New Mexico, joining 17 other states that are saying with a one unified voice, these are Republican and Democratic presidential appointments to the federal bench, saying that we are not going to marginalize our gay brothers and sisters by saying that they can't join in a marriage union. It is coming at us like a freight train. I had no idea 3 weeks ago when I said that it's eventually going to catch up with us either by judicial fiat or by legislation. That's when I was asking that my bill that somehow got into a black hole in privileges and elections to rescind the constitutional amendment. It's coming at us. Let's get ahead of the curve. And to my friends on the other side of the aisle, at least 8 or 9 districts that were decided by 1 point or less in the last election. Newsflash, there probably are gay men and women in that district. There are probably fathers and mothers, brothers and sisters that have gay relatives. It is coming at us, whether we like it or not, whether you like it or not. And to marginalize our gay brothers and sisters and to say that they cannot join in a union which is really defined by 2 people that love one another is disgraceful. So, if my friend Bob Marshall does get to the United States Congress, I hope that he will go there with an open mind. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.